Hey, what's up, everybody?
On Car Guys and Car Gals, welcome to Fixed Ops Friday on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. We have the incredible Owen Moon, and of course, the incredible, hilarious, one and only Brad.
Share the one and only
Paschal. The one and only.
There's nobody else out there like them, man. And I love it. I'm excited to have them both in the cafe today.
Yes.
Today is Fixed Ops Friday. And we're excited to get it going. Today we're highlighting an amazing company out there, Fixed Ops Digital. Y'all know the deal.
Yes.
And man, they're crushing the game right now, and I'm having a great time with them. We had great conversation right before the show. We got some great stuff for you guys out there. You guys are ready to have fun, ready to laugh, ready to do all those things that we love to do as solutionaries. Get ready to do it because we got a crew in the house.
Let's brew. Welcome, everybody. Do us a favor and help out the industry by tagging a car guy.
That's right.
Tagging a car gal.
Please do.
And sharing this around, making sure that everybody knows who's in town. Welcome back, everybody. So glad that we finally got Brad and Owen back together. Welcome back to the party, friends.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is Brad's debut. We should have hazed him or something. There had to be something we could do for that.
I was on one.
That's right. That's right.
But Brad's been busy. Brad, you're a guy that does more than just sit out there and brew solutions for the automotive. You're out there trying to help people in your community. You're helping other solutionaries learn how to do things. I mean, you're always involved in things, and I think that's something I really admire about you, Brad. So I understand why. I remember he had to go and do something for the community. He was doing some shooting, which is fun.
Yeah.
But it was for a good cause. It was for charity. So I can respect.
It was called Bustin' for Badges, and one of our clients down in Midland, Texas, he always sponsors it, and so I've been shooting with him for years. And so even before he was a client, and then last year when I went, we got his business, and he came on as a client, and so we go down there and we have fun and we shoot some sporting clays and.
So fun.
And there's a lot of car guys that shoot sporting clays. Bill Schomburg, he's a big sporting clay shooter. I don't know how good he is, but he's a sporting clay shooter. He says he's good, but it sounds like we're going to have some sort of sporting clay event coming up in the near future. Maybe NADA Dallas. I'll have to show him what's up.
Ooh, that sounds like a challenge to me. Call out. Hey, I'll be the judge too. I like that. I'm pretty handy with the steel myself, but I definitely never going to tell anybody I could beat them. But I enjoy it. It's a very great sport to play.
That was a mandatory fun session at the Ramirez Ranch once. We took everybody out there. It's funny what you do with a bunch of car guys that talk a good game, and then you put a shotgun in their hand, and you're like, what do I do? It's fun stuff. But wow, that sounds like something we do need to be involved in, Fred.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So let's have some fun. Owen, how you doing today, brother?
Doing all right. Just ended a great month of May and kicking off the summer here. We're super excited to get in the next 3 months and spent a little more time on the golf course the last couple of weeks with some nice weather. So it's funny, we all have different personalities, and we get hit up every once in a while by clients to help out with fundraisers and things like that. And we've got one actually in August in Chicago. We're gonna fly in all of our performance team, the ones that aren't local, and do a big performance summit. But the day before, we're actually going to be involved in a charity event for one of our dealerships and a golf event. So I like that. I think it's a great time to obviously give back to communities, help out, support your clients, and have a little fun while you're doing it, as we talked about. So
and I love that you're always giving back. We've heard this common amongst you two both already now, that giving back to the community, doing things, and that's something special. As you rise up, you try to help everyone around you. The more you give, the more you're going to get, and that's just a way of life. And that's what your company does too. And that's what I really love about Fixed Ops Digital, is that what you guys are doing out there isn't just to make money. It's really to make automotive smoother for the customer's experience when it comes to the online service, right? So as you're on, and as you're starting to grow, and as you're starting to do things, folks, the future is all online. People are really wanting to get more digital, thus the name, right? And that's why I'm really excited about what you guys are doing and what you guys have done. And you guys have been a company. Owen, tell us a little bit about the beginning of how Fixed Ops Digital became.
Yeah, it's a great story. We actually are just finishing up next month on this day, actually, July 3rd. We will be 4 years. So we'll be starting our 5th year in business. And, it's not like we all started this as newbies and said, hey, let's get into the auto business. Most of all my partners were doing something in automotive prior to us coming together and creating Fixed Ops Digital. So, it was nice to be able to kind of come together with some car people and all of us. You always say, I think the underlying factor with a lot of people would be, they can't see themselves having one business partner, let alone 3 or 4. And you got, as you guys know, obviously being partners and stuff, you got to have a good personality. You got to, you have the right temperament. I think what was great about my partnership team is we all have different skills. And so those skills come out. We get the most out of each other, as opposed to, you throw a couple, most people start businesses, or at least, you can argue this probably, but are very type A people, right? They're go-getters. They're, but they leave a big trail behind them of mess, and so you get a couple type A people starting a business, you might get a lot of things accomplished on the front end, but who's billing it, who's collecting it, who's kind of helping out with the clients, who's servicing those clients every day. They don't think about that. They're like, oh, that's right, we got to do that part of it, the job too. So, it's kind of nice having a nice, well-rounded partnership team that sort of brings the best out of each other. And then on top of it, bringing in good people like Brad, like, some of our other employees to sort of take that vision and cast it out there and let them just sort of, bring it across to everybody else. So that's kind of how we got started. We saw a need that obviously business was great. Everybody was selling cars. We were making money. We were, in good times. And, we just kind of felt like this was an area that was being very neglected. I had dealerships actually asking about, moving away from maybe direct mail or email marketing, at least enhancing that, saying, hey, we're doing a lot of, strategies inside our DMS and loyalty campaigns. How can we, kind of see what's been working on the service side and go from there? So, we just kind of use that as our like launching pad. And of course, it's become so much more than that since then with, building out technology and more infrastructure inside the business and just, building it for growth. And we saw very fast growth really early. And, we were going into 2020 very excited about where we were going to go. And then COVID hit. So there was obviously that first initial like, oh man, what are we going to do? Well, all of a sudden the service centers became essential. And next thing you know, we just kind of kept going again. And then now with this chip shortage, kind of the same thing. It's just more and more focus is getting put on the service side of the business. And, we are definitely meeting that need head on and excited to keep that, that momentum going. And like I said, I feel like we're just kind of getting started, even though we're starting our 5th year. And we're almost servicing 700 dealerships now nationwide in Canada, even over in Saipan. So, and I've got some opportunities to, get out into Puerto Rico, Australia. There's just a lot of really, people are starting to raise their hands now going, hey, we need this for our dealer body, even if it's not in the United States. So.
And that's what happens. Word of mouth is the best way to get yourself out there. All the social media and all this stuff is great. This keeps you consistent, lets people see your logo, lets people know who you are. But when people are putting out social media about you, when people are talking about you at events, people are talking about you at conventions, which they're talking about you guys quite a bit, which is amazing. Yes. It's everything that you guys do, from your personalities to your product, right? The people, the product. And then, of course, your process and how you guys onboard people, how you do all those things. Now, Brad, I want to touch this over with you. We just heard a pretty, I know that was a short version of everything that happened, of course, but at the same time, we kind of got the synopsis of what happened up to now. But in between there, you've been with the company now, Brad, for 1.5 years, man. And you've been a big highlight and somebody that I know that Owen is just like, damn, I wish I've had him the whole time, right? In this last 1.5 years, where have you seen Fixed Ops Digital go from where you've been to where you're at today?
I think the biggest difference, there's a lot of big differences that I see in Fixed Ops, right? From companies that I worked for in the past or companies that I worked with when I was in the dealership, is our response times are insane. Like on whatever you bring us a problem. And when you bring us a problem, that person owns that problem until it's done. regardless if they have to contact 15 other people or bring Owen into the loop or bring myself into the loop, or like, we just don't have a lot of problems. And I work for other agencies where it's 5 to 7 problems. It's 5 to 7 problems a day. I think I've had like 3 fires in a year and a half. And so just being able to trust your teammate, I'm so grateful for the people that we work with, because they allow me to be myself, right? Because I'm not having to worry about fixing this problem and fixing this problem. I can go out there and fix dealership problems, like
Right.
Google My Business listings, or actually, here, I'll show you this. Fred, here you go. I don't know if you can see it, but that's
he did. He did something for my county.
Yeah.
My
so
county.
I fixed the
all the way here in
Facebook
Kentucky.
account for the city of Elizabethtown.
That's
My
right.
city.
Let's
That's
go.
where I live.
Woo. So you helped our community, man, just so you know.
Yeah, and so
We
Jennifer
did.
Scarborough nominated me for a Kentucky Colonel Award,
Woo,
and they
woo.
sent that to me in the mail,
Nice.
which is kind of cool. So I love Kentucky. Actually, I'll tell you this. Dusty Sellerton says this to me all the time. He said more Kentuckians fought at the Alamo than Texans.
Damn right.
And I told him, you guys just make really good shields. Is what I told him, but he didn't think that was too funny. Anyways, like, we just have a really good team, and whenever you're looking at a company, especially agency, you tend to have silos, right? So you have the production team, you have the performance team, you have the sales team, and we don't really have those silos because Owen and Kevin do a good job of making sure we interact with each other, right? So that's super important.
It is.
That we have that interaction, because they know, they have a look into what the performance team deals with. They have a look into what the sales team deals with, right? Owen and I and the team always send gifts to the production team, right? Because they're the backbone of what we do, and the performance team deals with most of the day-to-day. So they're like air traffic controllers. It's a very stressful job. I've been in that position. And so I think just the way it's structured and how everybody's willing to help and how quickly we do things, we have performance managers that send back recaps that are insane. I'll give you an example. We have a girl, her name is Shalia. I texted her today to get something done. She sent it 5 minutes before she went to a funeral. That's how dedicated they are, because they're valued and they love their customers and they love getting things done. I didn't ask her to do it then. I said, hey, can you do this after a while? I know you got stuff going on. She knocked it out in 5 minutes, So it's they take pride in what they do, and we don't hire rookies. And that's a testament to what Owen and Kevin and Julie and Chris have built. And so when Owen and Kevin approached me, it was a no-brainer decision, because we've been friends for 10 years. I know what kind of guys they are. And they let me be myself. And that's the biggest thing, is that Owen and I, we both have, somewhat social media presences. We're both very different styles.
Oh, yeah.
But we complement each other, and we talk about stuff, and we talk about presentations, and he looks over my presentation and I look over his presentation, and we give each other a little bit of flavor on everything that we do. And I think that's super important, because we complement each other well. And that drives forth innovation. That drives forth stuff. We don't care where an idea comes from, right? We're agnostic. It doesn't matter if it comes from the person that's posting YouTube videos, or if it comes from Owen, or if it comes from the guy that handles the Facebook ads, right? It doesn't matter where the idea comes from. We want to flesh out every idea that we have so that we can further help, because we're behind on the service side. If you compare us to the sales side, we're way behind. So, and we're way behind in market share. We have 18% of the market dealers do of auto repair.
Yeah, dude.
So, well, and one thing I'll add to that, just to, it's great synopsis there, Brad. But what I'll definitely add to that is, one thing that when we built this is that we to Brad's point, we didn't hire rookies. I said, you know what, we're growing at such a clip that the last thing I need is to lose customers because I've got people that don't know how to strategize and consult with the dealerships. And so especially being kind of a new idea and a new thought out there. It was a lot of education at the beginning. I mean, it's a lot easier today. I mean, we've become a little more of a household name. We've got big data behind us, so we can, we know kind of who we are and what we bring to the table. 2018 wasn't so much like that, right? It was me sitting in the chair across from the dealer, and the dealer going, "What? Like, why would I need that? Like, what is that?" And so as we continue to build that, now we're getting obviously competitors out there, which are great because it gives us, again, more visibility. But as far as from, Brad's point of having other people, stepping up and helping out and all that stuff, and just kind of being that culture, I've had dealers tell me that hey, the only time I hear from this company or that company is when I'm putting in my cancellation. And that's a sad place to be in automotive, because dealerships are so busy. Dealerships have so much going on that they need to have that customer attention, that that customer centric partner that they can lean on and say, "Hey, I need you to get this done." And whether it's something that we're doing for them or just something that's part of the service side of the business, we want to roll up our sleeves and help out, within reason, obviously. I mean, we can't do everything, but we do have a lot of really solid people that understand a lot of different areas, so we can be that company that can help them out and let them just continue to do what they do best, which is help their clients and service their or help work with their employees and service their clients. And
go ahead.
It's like a team full of, all right. So one of the greatest utility players of all time in baseball was Craig Biggio, right? So he played catcher, he played second base, he played outfield. He was an all-star at 2 different positions, right? That's what we have on our team, is we have a whole team full of utility players. They can jump in here, they can jump in here. Every one of the sales guys can do the performance manager role. Most of the performance managers can do the salesperson role. This month we've had a lot of business come from performance managers that are bringing on new clients. So I think it's so just being able to
awesome.
The biggest trick is empowering people and figuring out what skills that they have within that company, right? So you mentioned retention, Owen. Owen did something fantastic where if the dealer misses 2 meetings, it goes to every manager. Why? Because they're not always the best at communicating if something's wrong. If they miss 2 meetings, something might be up. Their family, they might have a family member that's sick. They might have something going on, right? And regardless if we're not worried about the cancellation, we want to make sure that we're being a good partner and saying, "Hey, is everything okay? Is there everything going on?" And be proactive to reach out to that, which doesn't happen on this side of things very often.
Yeah, dude.
So very, very conscious of building relationships and making sure that those relationships are strong. And I'll tell you this: when I sell something, most of the time the performance managers are like, "I don't need you anymore. I got this." Right? Which is cool to see. I still text the customers to check in, or if they ask me to jump on a call, but they're like, "I don't need you. I got this." And if they need me, they send me a text and say, "Hey, I need you to look. Can you look at this? Or can you help me with this?" Or, you know what I mean? So it's very refreshing that Owen and Kevin and Julian and Chris have been able to put together a team like that.
And that's a testament to leadership. And what I see inside leadership is when they surround themselves with people that complement their weaknesses, right? Like, I love that you say you're utility players, but even utility players, their strengths are different, right? They, maybe they play these multiple positions, but they're really good at catching, but they can also play first base. They can also, whatever that you can put them in, they'll do it because they're a team player. And that's what you all are. At the end of the day, what you all are just a team.
Right.
And when you can put together a team of people that, hey, I know that their strengths are here, but I can also do this and I could do that, and they're okay with allowing that to happen. And you have a leader that's like, "Hey, I don't care how you do it, just do it. Right? Let's make this happen together. Let's just make sure we stay within our core values and we do it right for our clients." And that is powerful. And that's special. And that is exactly what's going on there. And I love that. And that's a great style of leadership. And that's a great style of team. And I'm a big advocate of that. I'm a big fan of that. That's reasons why, like, I'm going to click here and I'll putting it in the comments. And what I did was I just put the SoundCloud post. So this way, if anybody wants to hear Owen, he just was on Automotive News Daily Drive. and he was interviewed, and I think it's a great interview. You guys need to check it out. He recently was on there, folks. If you guys have never listened to that show, check it out. Check out Owen's show. It's on there. It's all in the comments. You'll see it on Facebook, wherever. Check it out. But I mean, Brad's on a lot of. They both get a chance to be on a lot of shows because of who they are, but most importantly is what they are. And that's really, really, really cool, man. What they represent in automotive is big. They're representing change. And you're right. The sad thing is fixed stops only, like you said, 18% of when it comes to maintenance out there. They need to get more of that inside their service in dealer service drives. Not there. I mean, there's all these other service places out there. We're talking about dealer service places. So you guys are helping make a change there. And that's what I really like. You know, the one thing, and you had some really good language, and I like this. What they provide is online service marketing. And that's something that's really big. And I want you guys to understand what that really is. And Owen, I want you to touch on that for a little bit. Explain what online service marketing really is to you.
Yeah. So, you know, we got to kind of look at the history of service marketing. And I've talked about this a lot. I was at a couple 20 groups last month, and this is something that we started everything with, right? Is that online service marketing has been very much loyalty campaigns, has been, hitting your DMS, going after lost souls, just people, people inside a certain bucket of audience that you want to go after, and then utilizing direct mail, utilizing email marketing. Those have kind of been the core things. And what we have noticed is that there's a lot of people going online to look for information, right? They want that information. They want to educate themselves about what needs to happen to keep their vehicles running great. They want to maybe get some recommendations from the manufacturer, even from the dealership. And we've just done a really, really inadequate job of providing that to customers on our websites. And so, so at the core, online service marketing is just moving more to an online approach and giving our mission is really simple: to provide a better customer experience for dealership service customers, and then use data intelligence to help drive more revenue. Those are our two big missions every day. And the only way to really do that effectively these days is online, because as we see more of our traffic going to mobile on our website, as we see more people going online, they're just like on the sales side, there's less loyalty than there's ever been. And so, when we don't have information on our website, when we're not showing up in Google, these are all things that are, Kevin uses this language a lot. He says it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts, right? You're never going to notice that Owen Moon stopped coming to your service department until a year later, and you went, damn, I haven't seen Owen in a year, or something. Somehow my name got into a list that they were looking at. You're just not going to remember that I ever came back. But, the problem is you lose me as a service customer. Now you kind of have to start over and turning me into a sales customer again. And so, how much does it cost you to lose that service customer when now you have to conquest them back to sales? So,
and sales is the hardest time keeping them.
No,
100%.
I think that's so important, because all right, 6.7 service visits for every sales visit, 6.7. Okay. What do we do to set those service advisors up for success? Well, let's first look at what we do for salespeople. We put all of the inventory on there. We put 47,000 buttons they can click to convert, right? and we send it to a BDC and let them take care of the first part, and then we send it to a sales guy. And then after we send it to a sales guy, we say, oh, you have to have an early introduction, right? So bring a manager out. So then we have a bring a manager out. Then when it goes to finance, right? So they pass it off to someone else. They do a very small part of the transaction. And I used to be one, so I can totally say this, right? And so if you look at service advisors, okay, we normally don't have specials that are updated on the website for about 70% of dealerships. We don't have all of the services that we offer, right? Like we have all the cars. We have every car that we can possibly have, even some that are in transit we put on there. But we don't put all of the services that we offer. We don't make it easy with the service schedulers, right? We don't man the chat too well if they need to chat in, and they have 90,000 phone calls going on that they have to give a call back, right? So the support system on that side online does not set the service advisor up for success, which is customer relations and making sure that everybody that leaves the dealership is in a safe vehicle. Those are the two main jobs. It's not about selling stuff. It's about making sure that they're leaving there in a safe vehicle. And so that's part of our job, is to set those guys up for success. And when you set those guys up for success and you get that retention, every 6.7 times, what do you get? Another car sale, right? Average RO on most dealerships is anywhere from $250 to $300, right? So $300 times 7 times, that's $2,100. And then every 7th time you get however much the car is, right?
Yeah.
So if you do it the right way. So I think that's so important that we use technology to help scale relationships with customers. That's what we do.
I love that,
and
man.
that's primarily what we want to do to make sure that our communication is better with the technology that we have, right? We would one day we wrote letters, another day we sent them by horseback,
Smoke
another
signals.
day, we got them overseas. I mean,
Well-
so there's so much in communicating that's important. And just the thing that I want to make sure that we do highlight to so many dealers that would hear this and understand that you put yourselves inside of meetings to try to figure out what the disruptors in your community, those vendors, are doing to get the customers that used to always come to your service drive. They were using this marketing and this type of bigger out of the box mentality thinking and approaching your customer and saying, here's a special, here's a way you can have a relationship to get the service you usually get at the dealer. That when's the last time your dealer spoke to you? We have a coupon in your hand right now. This kind of marketing that's now available for the dealer has been what's been utilized inside of your bigger box, your actual service places, right? The ones that are changing your tires are going after you for your oil changes, and you don't have a department that's talking to them in a similar way that's making them jump ship for you. And so that customer leaves from service and they leave from sales because you're not doing what's available to you. And the guy that jumps in is able to come in, hire in great marketers to do exactly the same things that could be done for you right now. Yeah. And utilizing the technology that's available for you. Understand your service needs marketing. And the question I want to get to with you all, because when you have this kind of a meteoric type of a rise inside of your company, it's because you're connecting something. There's a connection piece that's happening that's fusing and igniting success, and also people seeing it inside of their own business. What has it been for you all that has been the key piece that is like the aha to those that have heard a message and then now see that it's actually possible for them to activate your services in their department?
It's a great question. I think it comes down to kind of what you guys were talking about earlier about meeting dealerships at a need, right? Every time we go under the hood per se and create and say, hey, what are we doing next? It's always with the end customer in mind. One of the things that we did earlier this year was we put a integration partnership together with a couple repair financing companies. Well, that wasn't for us. I mean, obviously it's a great feature that we can talk about with our software, but that was for the end consumer, because the end consumer is walking away from services because they don't have the money today. Well, if we can pre-market that as a marketing company and let customers or dealerships have a better entry point into that conversation, and have customers have exposure to it before they get to that conversation, we find that it just helps so much in the overall processes and implementation of utilizing that type of a service for the customers. And we're seeing it. We're getting emails from dealers telling us that they've done as much business with one of the repair financing companies in 1 month that they did in 4 months prior to putting us, integrating into our solution.
I mean, we just talked to a Toyota dealer, right? And they're not dealing with the parts stuff that in 2021, they weren't dealing with the parts shortages that they are now, right? In the first 5 months of the year, they did $28K more in repair financing in the first 5 months of the year than they did in 2021. So, and we tracked exactly when it got implemented and everything. So they were comping like 100K versus 75K on repair financing. So it's just, I think Owen's spot on where it's like, okay, nobody on the service side plays nice with each other, right? And so we've said we're going to try to integrate with as many people as we can. Dignify, Sunbit. We just finished a Facebook integration. We're working on a lot of other integrations that are out there. We have Text to Drive. Owen's working on a couple other ones that I can't mention yet, but
no spilling beans.
It's just yeah. I don't know. He could say it. That's above my pay grade, Lou. This is above my pay grade. Anyways, so it's just so cool to watch and actually be able to track it, right? Be able to track it. That's the thing that's been about service for forever, is that you can't track if it's working or not. And so that's why service managers are so scared, is because we alienate them from marketing conversations. We don't make reports easy for them to read. We keep them confused instead of just making it easy. And our reporting team does a fantastic job of doing that and making it easy for people.
I think that's exactly it, right? You make it easy. You make it at their language. Again, there's a lot that goes into this, but you're talking to car guys that you have a hard time explaining what's wrong with your car to them, right? The sales pro doesn't know what's going on with the car, right? As great as they are at being wordsmiths, they can't tell you what's going on with the car. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a salesperson tell a mechanic what's wrong with the car, and the mechanic look at them like, bro.
Yeah.
Look, really I'm at Fix Ups, and I can't tell you what's wrong with my car.
Do it in English, please.
It's not about that. I think
you have to have a language that speaks them. And
without making here's the biggest key, without making them feel dumb, because they know every other part of their business. Exactly. They know more stats and metrics than all of the sales combined, parts and sales combined. But you can't make them feel dumb, you know. And this marketing's like this mystified arena that they don't understand. And so you have to demystify it and explain it into ways that's really easy to understand. And you have to show them data that affects the metrics that they care about the most, right? Which is average dollars per RO. How many ROs are you doing? You know, how many cars are we putting numbers on in the service drive that we got in that are late model, right? So those are things that they understand, because they don't care. Like if you're driving in late model cars, they don't care. They don't care if the sales department buys it. They get the work, customer pay, or internal. Either way, they get it either way.
That's exactly right.
So it's just saying things in their language and not trying to come in here and, you know, there's a saying, right? There's two sayings. There's one saying that says marketers ruin everything, right? And then the second saying is the best marketing strategy ever, and this is a Gary Vee saying, is to just care, right? Care enough to learn their language. I wasn't a Fix Ups guy when Owen brought me on. I didn't know much at all, right? And so Owen taught me a lot. I spent a lot of time with our buddy John Luciano. Almost every week.
Love that dude.
So I spent 1 to 3 hours every week of him teaching me when I first jumped on. And so it's just, you have to dive in and take interest in what they take interest in, right?
I love it, because there might be times when I'm on the interview, like you just said, with Fix Ops Journal and talking about a certain subject that we're very passionate about and knowledgeable about. And then there's like the Fix Ops Roundtable with my good friend Ted Ings, where I jump on and I spend 3 days as a student, because I literally sit here and listen to Tolly Williams, who just jumped on here. I mean, that guy is awesome compared.
Man, is he ever full of?
If you're going to learn from somebody, learn from Tolly Williams, because he's in the trenches every day and he teaches me how to be better marketers for dealerships, right? And so we take that knowledge, we bring it back to the team and say, hey, this is a focal point for dealerships. How can we fix that problem, or how can we help them fix that problem? And that's, you know, I mean, if you're not doing that, why are you even here anyways? So that's what we do every day. So
you should always be looking for room for improvement and looking for ways to be better, and finding people out there that have those things, just like you did with your team. You know, like we mentioned earlier, it's surrounding yourself with people that complement your weaknesses. And it's nothing wrong with having weaknesses. We all have them. Every single one of us, even Brad. Right.
Well, I suck at Photoshop, dude. Like that's my biggest thing. Like I can't resize a photo in that thing. So the girls that are in the marketing department, thank the Lord for them. They're so sweet. They get tired of all the crap I throw at them. Hey, can you fix this? Hey, can you do this? Can you draw? Hey, I have this idea. And they're like, they're just like, they just put like little thumbs up in Slack. That's all they do. They don't say anything. I'm sure afterwards they probably go home and cuss me. But
no, man, you keep them figuring out how to do things. That is that's exactly what they want.
Something that I think I'm going to take over your show for a second. You ready?
Well, dude, this is our show. Bring it.
So, Owen, I want us to go around just for a second, because who are people out there that people are watching this show? Who are people they need to be connected with? You know what I mean? Being a part of being a solutionary isn't always solving the problem. Half of it is connecting it to the person that can.
There you go.
Right? So you said Tully Williams. So I'm going to let you go, and then we're going to go down to Fred and then Lou, and then I'll come back up. We will do 2 rounds here.
All right. So if you want to talk, in the trenches, doing it, Tully Williams, top of the game. Ed Roberts,
there's a great
another solid human. I met Ed, 3 years ago on another podcast like this, and we became friends. Sean Kingery, another great fix ops director on the Step One Automotive Group. There's a lot. Jim up at Chapman, great guy. So there's a lot of really really good. That's one thing about working with 700 stores, is that we have a lot of great fix ops directors, which, by the way, prior to a couple of years ago, I'm not sure that position even existed, right? We had service managers.
There you go.
But we didn't have fix ops directors. Service managers took care of their stores. Now fix ops directors are taking care of their group. And one I'm going to steal from you, Brad, and I know you're going to say him, but Justin Pomeroy, by far one of my favorite human beings. Great operator, fix ops director for the foundation. We've got a great partnership with them, and we're excited for their growth and what they're doing.
And doing it.
And I'll throw one more out there, and this will be a trainer that I have a lot has and that's John Fairchild.
Yeah, dude.
Great dude. Always guy I met really early, and has picked his brain on several occasions. I'm not trying to leave anybody out for lack of time. I could go on forever, but that'll be my list for now. So
yeah, you see, you were supposed to give 1, and you gave 87.
I don't even know who to say.
Yeah.
I'm like, my goodness gracious, but you know what you
did? My 18 right there. That's my 18.
That's my 18.
That's world champions right there. World champion fixed ops department.
I was crossing off my list over here the whole time. I'm like.
But definitely highlighting an Ed Roberts. I mean, that's somebody. That's the first person.
That was who I was thinking. That was the guy that
came to my head, immediately.
But talking about Fairchild. I mean, come on.
Yes.
What a great trainer. I mean, he's a great speaker too. Very passionate about what he does, and it comes out through everything he does. Like even when you just shake his hand, you just feel it. Like you could just tell that, man, he can run a department. This guy knows what he's talking about, and he's very, very about sharing that with others so much right now. And I'm on that train with him. So great call on that. I mean, you the whole list. Tully, man, shout out to you. Thank you for being here today. Tully, first time I met him was through when I was at. Man, it was Business Bourbon and Cigars in Louisville. I was at dinner, and he was sitting right across from me, and I didn't know who he was. And I started having conversation with him, and his energy kept going up, mine kept going up. You could imagine, right? And we're just having fun at the table. And man, shout out to you, bro. What a powerful guy. And you talk about being in the trenches. Not only is he in the trenches, but he does it with such charisma, and he's so excited about it. You don't see that a lot when people are really doing it. They kind of get into their little grunt, like, no, he's let's go, and he'll have fun. He'll dance. Dude. My kind of guy. So I mean, I don't even know who to call up right after all you said.
I set you up a little bit. I'm sorry, I set you up a little bit. So
all right, Brad, go ahead.
If you want to see a full list of great podcast episodes, check out Tactical Tip Tuesday. We have guys like Greg Gifford, Samantha Foster, Marcus Amon from Bailey, Jared Kilway, Gino Walsh, and Drew Benson from Cavalli. We have a lot
It's
of
like a
free
shameless
content.
plug, Brad. Come
Oh,
on.
dude, I set it up so hard.
Put it up.
He said I set it up so hard.
You know, I mean,
I leave my own dunk.
you know, I have no shame, man, because all this content's geared towards helping people.
That's
and
right.
all these people
Come on.
care and they take time out. We even have some fantastic SEO people like Greg Gifford and Joy Hawkins. So
Come on now.
if you want to check it out, I try to knock those out every Tuesday. My like I said, another shout out. The marketing team does a fantastic job with it. But you can find that on our website at FixedOpsDigital/tactical. So
FixedOpsDigital/tactical. Hey, listen, that is a great show, and he brings on people that are there to help you guys just get a slight edge. If you could just take one thing from every episode and that you listen to, your department will grow, your people will grow, and you will grow. Period, hands down. That's what it's about. So, man, kudos to you for having that show. And then now we're doing Fixed Ops Fridays, and these Fixed Ops Friday shows are designed to do the same thing. Folks, I hope that you guys got something from them. I mean, I'm telling you, what's going to be the future? What are you guys looking forward to happening in the changes that you see coming in automotive, especially right now on the online service?
You know, I think on the horizon for us anyways, you know, one of the things that we've done, and we talked about this a little bit throughout the show, but we've put such a focus on the Fixed Ops department, right?
Yeah.
But the Fixed Ops department isn't just service. Like that's kind of where it starts, right? It's like, hey, we have to figure out how to get more services online and how to let customers know they're there. But there's a whole tire department that never gets any love in the dealership. But there's two problems. First off, we never have a good display. So we're never like, you know, we as dealerships, they don't necessarily put any effort into tires because they don't make a lot of money in tires. And so I get it. But guess where all the retention is, right? FCA came out a couple years ago and gave us some data because we've been working with the business centers for years. And they were talking about, I think it was like 83% of customers that bought tires from the dealership bought their next vehicle. So, you know, at the 20 groups I was just at, I had raised my hand. How many people are happy or satisfied with their tire, displays? And maybe one person raised their hand. Some people said, "Oh, we don't even have one," you know, that type of thing. So, you know, that's one thing. Accessories, I think, is another really key part. Parts. Brad touched a little bit ago about the parts issues we've been having. Even collision, if people are doing collision. So I think where we're focused on is trying to build out more of those areas as well. Because if we can build out a better strategies to help dealerships sell more tires, they're going to sell more cars down the road and obviously make more business there too. Same thing with accessories. I mean, there's certain brands like Jeep. I mean, you know, I've had a dealer tell me one time, he said, a guy bought a brand new Ram truck from me, and 2 weeks later he came back and showed me all the things he did to it to dress it up. Oh, I put on these running boards and the tonneau
dollar
cover
signs. It didn't go in his doors.
And he thought I would be. This was the dealer told me. He goes, he thought I would be jumping out of the chair, excited for how well he dressed his truck up. And all I thought to myself was, man, I missed out on all that revenue because I could have sold all that stuff to him. But I never had it on my website. I didn't have it in my shop. You know, it was an eye opener for him that I need to do something about my accessories business, or I'm going to continue to lose that to the third parties out there. So, you know, that's where we're focused is continuing to sort of, you know, create other opportunities inside that department that are being neglected. And then just continue to build out our tech stack. I mean, we've come a long ways, you know, with our specials management software and kind of what we're doing with it, with some of the integrations we have. And we don't see that slowing down anytime soon as well. So I would say if you looked at us a year from now, it'll be obviously, you know, we're pushing towards 1,000 dealers as well. We really have some cool stuff happening there, but we really want to come back here in a year and say, hey, did we accomplish some of those other initiatives? So
that's huge. And you know what, one thing I'm going to just say really quick, and I just, the tire thing, you talked about maybe one person raised their hand. I'm going to almost guarantee that one person sells and retains more customers, repeat customers, sells more repeats and referrals than anyone else out there in that group. And the reason why I say that's because of that reason that you said is that statistic states that if you have people come back to buy tires, they come back and buy their vehicles there because they feel loyal to that. And the fact of the matter is you can have a tire place, and Vernon Swart, he jumped on here and I love what he says. He goes, tires are the most stolen part in the parts department. If you do not stay on top of tires, you will lose more money than you make. That's why it's important to always have a process for everything. And that's something that you guys, and if you don't have a solution for it, you know how to connect people to people like that too, you know? And that's the thing, like when you have an active department, you're actually active with your parts, especially your tires. You're going to notice if inventory is missing because you're moving metal. You're moving rubber, I should call it, right? You're not moving metal, but you're moving that rubber and you're causing this thing. So you're always checking. You have to know what sizes you have. You know what you have in inventory. You're moving that thing. You're making it great. And Tully even says here, I love this. He says, we are the repeat and referral business. Tires are it. Yeah. So he's right. 100%. So that's how you get it. And that's how you grow it. So folks, don't miss out on that opportunity. What a great tip.
You know, an easy way to get that, right? So the easiest way to get that is if you have a hunter system or you have something like UVI or something like that, right in front of that, when they pull in, you put a tire display, and on this tire display, you put one tire that has full tread. You have one tire that has less tread and one tire that's really bad. And then you talk about the likelihood of something happening with each one of those tires, because you're selling safety. Then you're not just selling tires, you're selling safety. And if you do it right after the alignment, then people are way more visual. And a lot of people there's three communication styles. There's auditory, there's kinesthetic, which is hands-on,
right,
and then there's visual.
Absolutely.
If they're able to touch that tire and they're able to see that tire and you're explaining it to them, you hit all three of those communication things, your sales automatically go up that way.
Yes.
Period.
Nothing seals
and because you're not missing any way, because everybody, like you said, three communication ways, right? But everybody feels something different in each one of those. So you want to make sure you're not missing somebody. They may know what you're talking about, but they didn't touch it. That's how they learn. That's how they grow. Some people need to hear about it. You need to explain it to them. That's when they want to buy it. Some people need to see it, like just literally just see it and be like, okay, I want it. So if you don't make sure you do all three, you might miss an opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's like the old saying, the man, the money, the machine. When you're selling a car, that's the reason why people don't buy vehicles, and you have to make sure you know that you're taking care of all three of those parts. So, man, that's a great tip, man. Great tip. Love it, man. So the future is great. The future is great for you guys. I see that fixed stops and everything is going to be amazing. But that's because we have people like Owen Moon and people like Brad out there just trying to do their best to make sure that you guys get information about what you need. Whether you're listening to Tactical Tuesdays, Fixed Ops Fridays, going to a podcast that Owen Moon was on to talk about his product, I promise you that you're going to find some value there. You're going to get some free information that's going to help your dealership grow. But if you need to take it to the next level and you need a little bit of help, make sure you go to their website, www.fixedopsdigital. And man, I promise you, they'll make sure they take care of you. They'll reach out to us, 321 Fred Lou. We'll connect you. But make sure you go to them because they are the future of fixed ops. They are the future of how you market your fixed ops department. Get a hold of them. Let's go. Man, powerful stuff, guys. You guys got anything you guys want to throw in before we get out of here today?
Brad, we got anything?
Yeah, actually, next episode, we should have on.
That's right.
The man, the myth, the legend. Actually, my one of my very first mentors in the car business, Brian Armstrong. He is the e-commerce director of Southtown VW, and he actually runs 3 other VW stores, 2 in Texas and 1 in Lee Summit, Missouri. So I think he's going to join us on the 17th.
That's right.
For the next episode. So that should be. It's a lot of fun for me because I get to sit back and learn while because he's going to say something that is going to spawn something. I talked to him yesterday. He's extremely excited to.
We are too, man. We are too, folks. Yeah. That's on the 17th. It's a Friday, just like always. That's in 2 weeks. Make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be a great show. We're excited. It's right before NIADA, so make sure you guys check that out so you can be ready to come to NIADA and have a good time. I'll be there. I'm actually going to be there with my son. He's going to be my cameraman, my assistant. Lou is going to be in Mexico. That's right. It's going to be all right, but we will be there Friday.
I'll be in Lou.
Yeah, that's it, man. But we're excited, folks. This was a great show, folks. If you guys, like I said, if you guys want to get a hold of them, if you guys want to go to their website, it's the best way. Go there, inquire. You can email them. Very easy. You can go to their Facebook page, to their LinkedIn page, they're everywhere. You can't miss them. They're on social media. They're making sure that you know how to get a hold of them. The website's right down below, ticking right now, as you can see. Go check them out. Make sure you reach out to them.
The last thing I'd say is, like, look, we've going in our 5th year. If you've worked with us in the past, give us another shot or give at least an opportunity to talk to you because we've come a long ways since the early, being a new company, a lot of changes, right? So change has been a big part of our company as we've evolved. And we'd love to talk to you again. Obviously, if we've met you at some of the booths that we've had at conferences, things like that. And, a lot of times it's not us, right? I mean, if someone doesn't come work with us, it's because they've told us that they're not ready, right? We need to get our people in place. We need to get our processes in place before we start pushing more business through that department. One thing I'll leave you with, and this is something that dealerships have told me now more in the last 90 days than I've ever heard. And that's since implementing our solution into their world, their CSI scores have gone up. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking, I was like, you know what, why is that, right? But it's because of the experience that they're getting on the website that carries them into the experience in the drive, which carries them into, the experience that they have with the dealership. And I think we do a great job on sales. I think that service is behind. But when I heard that actually made me smile a lot, because I'm like, it's not just about revenue. It's not just about us bringing more business into the thing. But you know what? These CSI scores have been a problem. More fixed ops Tuesday. These CSI scores have been a problem for dealerships for years with the way the OEMs do it. And so anything we can do to help them fix that problem is a win in my book. So, hey, Fred Lennartz, like always, thanks for having us. Obviously,
I think Tully just volunteered to come on the next episode, didn't he?
Yes.
I just no doubt Tully would be a great
I better have a text message when I get off of here.
Tully, you're invited, brother. Fixed Stops Friday. We'll see you in about 4 weeks for you to come on. Come on, let's get you.
We gotta get it. Well, he can't be commenting like that and then not come share.
Hey, in a quick shout out, we got another somebody I know that really wants to come on the show. I'm gonna throw it out there. Her name is Kaylee Filio. She is the parts girl. So let's get her on the show eventually. But definitely, we love all you guys out there. There's a lot of people who want to come on Fixed Stops Fridays, and we want you all on the show. If you want to come on, reach out to us, reach out to them. We're excited. We're looking for people that are ready to talk about the future, not about yesterday. We're talking about what are we going to do to be better. And if you want to be that person, come check us out. We're ready to have you on the show. I know that it's going to be fun. I know we always have fun on the show. Looking forward to it. Lou, you got anything to say before we get out of here, brother?
Oh, man, just so honored that we had so many great people participating with us. But at the simple side of it, folks, we got to make sure that we get our language right so that we can do effective marketing and we can effectively help the people that we're committed to helping. And that's your customers, dealers. We want to make sure that this communication is simple and it's fun. You can have more fun utilizing the technology that's with you and building relationships with great relationship builders like Owen Moon and Brad Paschal that are cultivating a actual real life culture that is spilling into their clientele, and it's affecting the entire industry. And that's why we're brewing solutions with them. Thank you so much for an incredible Fixed Stops Friday.
Well, as we get out of here, the way we get out of here is we fly, right? In order to fly, you got to forgive, focus first. So let's get this thing going. Let's get out of here. Let's have some fun. Enjoy our weekends.
Know the deal.
Let's keep brewing solutions.
So let's go ahead and get that on 3, everybody. Let's forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Keep growing. That's right.
Man, thank you all for being on the show. Brad, love you. Owen, love you guys. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. All you all out there, make sure you guys check it out. www.fixedopsdigital.com. 321 Fred Lou. Reach out to us. We got you. Let's go and let's grow. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Y'all appreciate y'all. Have a great one. See you soon. Peace.